Hello, Sally Rod. Welcome to the 21st century.
Hello, glad to be here.
What were your major accomplishments?
One of my major accomplishments was being the first woman in space. Many people don't know that I also had many accomplishments as a tennis player. But my main focus later in life was science, which put me on the Challenger not only once but twice.
What were your regrets from that?
I do not withhold any regrets because every choice and decision I made led to something even greater.
How did you influence others during the Beyond Your Life?
Me being one of the first of 3 women in space and an American woman, I influence women to go beyond the typical women's status and jobs. I also now influence women and girls with my program, Sally Ride Science.
What was your best and worst personal trait?
I like to think I am a strong-willed person. I'm also a very secretive woman. One thing I believe is that every good trait makes up for the bad ones.
What was your childhood like?
Both of my parents were very encouraging, but they let us explore and let us make our own decisions. They didn't push us towards things we didn't want to do. They also were there for me and my sister through decisions we made. I had a very happy childhood.
How did your family feel about you being gay?
Well, they were very accepting. They welcomed my partner and me in with welcome arms. They never judged us and loved us for who we were.
Why did you become an astronaut?
Growing up, I was very interested in space and science. I wanted to become a professional tennis player, but I later on decided that would not be a very good long-term career, and I joined NASA, not looking into being an astronaut, but it kind of just happened.
Did you know any of the astronauts on the Challenger explosion?
I actually did. 5 of them I knew well. 4 of them were in the same astronaut class. At that point, we had been together for about 8 years when the accident happened. This made it hard because I knew them all very well.
Why did you decide to leave your tennis career?
Well, my forehand was horrible, but I really did hate to practice to make that forehand better. But it was just not a good long-term career. Science was just a better choice for me.
Was there ever discrimination because you were a woman?
No, actually there wasn't. No one really discriminated against me. Most people were accepting. Most men in my class had also worked with women in the past. So there were also 6 other women in my astronaut class, so it made it very easy. But I do wish that when I did go on my trip to space, that there was another woman. It would have made things just a little bit easier to, cope with, because there was just all men and then just me. So it kind of made it a little hard. But no, there was never any discrimination.
Well, Miss Rod, thank you for joining us today. Is there anything you would like to say to the people?
Well, thank you for Sorry. Well, thank you for letting me join you today, and I hope that every woman feels like she can feel her full potential and go beyond what people say she can. And as I usually say, all adventures, especially into new territory, are scary, and my trip was frightening, but I did make it back safely.